Hi, this is Tim Roy. I was recently asked how I created self-generating patches on my Behringer Crave, so I decided to record this tutorial to show you how I approach it. First, a quick disclaimer, I'm not a modular synth or patching expert. This tutorial is based on my very first patch, this kind of patch, self-generating patch on Behringer Crave. Okay, let's start with basic synth settings. To access the settings on the Crave, press Shift, hold 8. The number 1 will light up yellow, which means you are in the settings menu. Use the right arrow to go to page 2. On this page, you can assign what you want to output through the assign output here. I want it to be random, so I press 8. By the way, you can find the full list of assignable options in the manual. Manual you can find on Behringer website, I think. Once that's done, exit the settings. It's the same way, the same combination, Shift, hold 8. Now we will set up the initial sound. There are not strict rules here. It's all about experimenting and listening and tweaking, you know. But I will try to replicate how I created my first patch. Okay, I set the square wave, pulse width, modulation, a little bit of modulation by LFO, a little bit of noise, close low pass filter cutoff, no resonance, a little bit of modulation by envelope. Long attack, long decay, sustain on 12, very slow LFO rate, and that's it. Of course, the key to stellar patches like this is space. I used Valhalla Supermassive and Valhalla VintageVerb for reverb. You can see the settings I used on the screen. Additionally, I added a compressor and limiter to the chain to prevent any unexpected volume spikes. For this patch, I also boosted the low frequency slightly with Sie-Q from Soundtoys. To start, I wanted random changes to pitch and filter cutoff, however, I wanted the cutoff modulation to stay within a specific range. To do this, I patched the assign output to a multiple, and then from the multiple to mixed 2. By routing VCMix to the cutoff and adjusting the VCMix knob, I can control how much random affects the cutoff. Mix 1 is 0% with no modulation and mix 2 is 100%. I used a multiple here because random is really useful and I want extra outputs available for other uses. Next, I'll patch random to oscillator CV to modulate the oscillator's pitch. Now let's create a short sequence. For patches like this, it's good to leave plenty of space between notes. So it will be note, rest, 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 maybe note and rest. Alright, we've got a sequence. As you can see, I've set the tempo to be very slow. Now let's make the node triggering more random. There are several ways to do this, like modulating reset, play, stop, or tempo, but I'll use a different method. I'll send LFO to envelope gate. This way the envelope triggers not when a node is played, but when the LFO hits. To make this even more random, I will send random to modulate the LFO rate. To take the randomness further, I will add another LFO to modulate VC mix. This will cause the range of random affecting the cutoff to change over time. Since the LFO itself is being modulated by random, the changes will be quite unpredictable. We could stop here, but I added a few more connections that affects the sound rather than the pattern generation. It's VCF to VCA CV, pulse to oscillator FM, and keyboard CV to resonance. Now it's all about experimenting, tweaking ranges and patterns in the sequence. That's all. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and had a good time watching it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to post more videos like this in the future. And thank you. Goodbye.